Everything you're about to hear really happened. At least, it did to me. We moved into the house in late September. It was a quiet neighborhood on the edge of town, with overgrown trees and cracked sidewalks. My wife, Claire, loved it immediately. The wraparound porch, the big oak in the backyard, the way the upstairs hallway creaked underfoot. She said it had character. I said it had termites. But the price was right. Too right, honestly, and the previous owner seemed eager to leave. The house had 3 bedrooms. One for us, one we turned into Claire's art studio, and the third we called the spare room. It was always cold in there, not freezing, just off, like the air was heavier. Claire said I was being dramatic, but she also didn't want to sleep with the door open if it faced the spare room. We lived there for about 2 months before things started happening. Nothing dramatic, at first. It was little things, knocking sounds, late at night, always 3 knocks, slow and deliberate, coming from the wall between our bedroom and the spare room. I assumed it was the pipes, but one night I knocked back. 3 knocks, slow, deliberate. I waited. Nothing. Then, I swear to you, from the other side of the wall, 3 knocks, back at me. We stopped using the spare room, just closed the door and kept it shut. Claire even stacked canvases in front of it, but the knocking didn't stop. And then came the smell, like rotting flowers, or meat, or both. It seeped under the door, and no matter how many candles Claire lit, it always came back. We had the house inspected. Nothing, no mold, no animals in the walls, no explanation. The nights got worse. I started dreaming, the same dream, over and over. I'd be in that room, standing in the dark, staring at a chair facing the corner, and something, I couldn't see it, was sitting in the chair, breathing, heavy, slow, and angry. One morning I opened the door, just to prove to myself there was nothing there. The smell hit me first, stronger than ever. And then there it was, a wooden chair sitting in the middle of the room. We didn't own that chair. Claire swore she hadn't moved anything in there. We argued, she cried, said she wanted to move. That night, I locked the spare room door and taped it shut. 2 nights later, I woke up to hear whispering. It was coming from the hallway. I opened the door and saw the tape was peeled away. The spare room door was wide open, and the chair was facing the hallway. Claire stood behind me, holding my arm so tight I couldn't move. And then, we both heard it. A voice from inside the room. It said, "Can I come in now?" We moved out a week later, broke the lease, lost our deposit, didn't care. That was a year ago. I still check the hallway before bed. Claire won't talk about the house, and sometimes, late at night, if the windows are open, I still hear it. 3 knocks, slow, deliberate. You ever live somewhere that just didn't feel right? Not haunted, not cursed, just wrong? That's how the house felt, from the first night. It was a 1-story rental on the edge of the woods, not far from town, but far enough that we didn't get cell signal unless we stood in the backyard. I moved in with my girlfriend, Mallory. We'd been together almost 4 years. She found the house. Cheap, private, decent kitchen. Her only complaint? The crawlspace. It was a little square door behind the laundry machine, just big enough to fit through on your stomach. I never thought much of it, until Mallory started complaining about noises. Scraping, dragging, sometimes whispering, she said, but I figured it was just old pipes and wind under the house. I checked once, crawled in with a flashlight. It was just dirt, pipes, cobwebs, nothing strange. But I didn't like how it smelled, like rust, or mold, or something older. A few weeks later, we started losing things. A set of keys, a sock, my flashlight, Mallory's earrings, gone. The weird thing was nothing was valuable, just random stuff. One night I woke up to the sound of breathing, not snoring, not hers, right next to the bed, but when I turned on the light, there was nothing there. The next morning we found the bedroom door open and a muddy handprint on the inside wall. We didn't own a dog or boots. I bought a motion camera, set it up facing the Crawlspace door, told Mallory it was just to prove there was nothing going on, give her peace of mind. The next morning, I checked the footage. At 3:12 a.m., the Crawlspace door opened, all by itself. Nothing came out. But just before the camera cut to black, 2 fingers reached out from inside. It looked like someone was crawling toward the lens. We packed that day, told the landlord we had a family emergency, left the deposit behind. But 2 nights later, in our new apartment, I heard scratching under the floor. We were on the 3rd floor. There shouldn't be anything under us. And then I found the flashlight, the one that disappeared back in the old house. It was sitting under our bed, covered in dirt, and something that looked like skin. Mallory doesn't sleep much anymore. Neither do I. Every once in a while, we still find things missing, small things, socks, notebooks, 1 shoe. Sometimes they come back. Last week, I was taking the trash out, and I saw it, in the parking garage, near the drainage vent. Just a face, watching. No eyes, no mouth, just a mouth-shaped hole, wide and stretched too far. It didn't move. It didn't blink. It just waited. I travel for work a lot. Hotels, airports, repeat. After a while, they all blur together. But there's one place I'll never forget. I still can't talk about it without my hands shaking, not because of what I saw, but because of what I heard. It happened last fall in Denver. My company booked me into a mid-range hotel. Decent reviews, nothing fancy. Late check-in, as usual. I was dead tired. The desk clerk seemed off. Polite, but quiet. When he handed me my keycard, he paused, looked like he wanted to say something, but he just said, "Room 314, elevators to your right." The room was clean, smelled like citrus and bleach. I dumped my suitcase, stripped off my work clothes, and climbed into bed, TV on low, trying to lull myself to sleep. That's when I heard it. Knock, knock, knock. 3 quick knocks. Not at my door, at the one next to mine, room 313. At first, I thought nothing of it. Thin walls, hotels are noisy. But it happened again. Knock, knock, knock. Then again. And again. I glanced at the clock. 3:12 a.m. Who the hell knocks this much at 3 a.m.? I finally got up and looked through the people. Nobody in the hallway. But the knocking continued, muffled now from the other side of the wall. I pressed my ear to it. And I swear to God, I heard whispering. It sounded like a woman, repeating the same phrase over and over. Don't open the door. Don't open the door. Don't open the door. I went downstairs. The night clerk was reading a book. Didn't even look surprised when I mentioned the noise. He just sighed, then said, "You're not the first person to complain about 313. I asked if someone was in there. He didn't answer right away, then finally said, "There's no room 313. Back in my room, I checked the door next to mine, clear as day, room 313 etched into the plaque. I knocked. Silence. Then a faint scratch, like nails dragging across wood, and a voice just behind the door. "Did you tell him?" I ran back inside, locked every bolt, didn't sleep a second. The next morning, I asked to switch rooms. The manager asked why. I told her about the noise. She blinked. "But you're in 313, she said. I corrected her. "No, 314. The room next door is..." She stopped me. "No, room 314 is being fumigated. It's unoccupied. We moved you to 313 last night when our system double booked." I pulled out my keycard. It still said 314. She took it, looked at her computer, and paled. That's impossible. Before I left, I passed a cleaning lady in the hall. She pointed at my door and asked, "You stayed in 313?" I nodded. She looked me dead in the eye. "You're lucky. Most people who stay in that room don't check out